There's a saying that God can write straight with crooked lines. And I think that line certainly fits the story today about Joseph and his brothers. The brothers were very envious of Joseph, and so they decided to kill him, but then with Reuben's help, they relented of that and sold him off as a slave. When Joseph was being taken off to slavery in Egypt, he had no idea what God's plan was, that eventually he would save all of his family and his nation from starvation. He had no idea. But as it turned out, that Joseph grew into great authority in Egypt because of his predictions and his great knowledge. He was respected by the ruler. And then the great famine broke out in his homeland, and Jacob sends his sons to Egypt to try to get some food for his people. And in the process, as you know the story, they meet up with Joseph. They don't realize it's him, but Joseph actually brings them all the food necessary for them to survive. God writes straight with crooked lines. We see the same thing in the parable today of the landowner in his vineyard. The son represents Jesus Christ, and they killed him, just like Jesus was killed. And the people thought, they thought that if they killed the son, that they would acquire his inheritance. When Jesus was killed, what happened? He gained divine inheritance for the whole world by his death. God writes straight with crooked lines. Sometimes we can look about the world and we see natural disasters and riots and all kinds of problems. And in our own personal lives, we can feel sickness and frustration. And we can question, where is God's plan in all of this? God doesn't cause evil. He permits it in this world. But he always finds a way to draw good from evil. Just like with the selling of Joseph into slavery, he brought good for the whole Israelite people from Joseph. And we don't know how it works with God. But we do know that we have to trust God, that he knows what he's doing. He could eradicate all evil, but he chooses to do it a different way in his wisdom. And so we see that God writes straight with crooked lines. He can bring good out of evil. We have to be patient and cooperate with God in our own lives. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.